Hello, my name is Daniel Crenshaw, and this is my Lab 1 report. The purpose of this lab was to track the velocity of an object with a video tracker and then compare the results with a Python program that simulates the same scenario. The main physics principle we used in this lab is Newton's second law, the momentum principle. Here is the main outcome of the experiment. The graph depicts that the observed position, based on the video analysis, is similar to the predicted position to a certain degree. One of the main formulas used for this experiment was the position update formula. This formula allows us to determine what the new position of our object will be based on the velocity. Some other important details for this experiment include the system and surroundings and the initial conditions. The object that was used for this experiment is a system, and everything acting on the object is the surroundings. This is because the thing being studied is the object, which makes it the system. One of the initial conditions for the coding aspect of the lab was making sure to perceive velocity as constant. This allowed the code to simulate the data better. Now, here is a video that was used for the experiment. While analyzing the video, it was important to determine the orientation. If I were to flip the orientation, which would essentially flip the axes, then the x values would be negative instead of positive. And here is a code that was used to simulate the data. In the code, we can see where the while loop is, which is constantly updating the position of the ball. Now, as you can see, while the slopes of both datasets are similar to some extent, they diverge at a certain point, which could be due to a number of different reasons and errors. Some of the errors that may have occurred during this lab are incorrect data importing, unaligned data points, and different position calculations between the code and the video tracker. Based on all this data, we can conclude that the main forces being added together to achieve a net force of zero are friction and the force we give it ourselves. Gravity has little effect on the force, as the y value remains zero since the ball stays on the ground. In conclusion, this experiment has shown us the relationship between constant velocity and how it affects the updated position of an object.